Hello everyone, this is Saussy17 here, and let me first, like usual, a journalist picture. This is not a paid video. Alright, okay. So yes, it's been like 2 months since I made this. So, what's gonna happen in this is not gonna be very long. Well, actually it is probably 50 minutes or so. Until I get tired, because I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links after it, because I wanted to try to get the event and it done, and also get some more medals so I can get Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards in it. I'm sorry. But that's the reason why the video for the Ghost Rider didn't come out yet, because it's 3:37 right now. So by the time I am done with this video, I'll upload that video. So yeah, sorry. But anyways, I had Asta defeat Noble in the last one, and he asked for Asta's name, and I'm gonna have him be in the in the Crimson Lions to be with. Okay, there's Napoleon and hold on. Crimson Lion, for Goleon. So I'm gonna have him go there, and I'm technically making Noelle kind of like keep an eye on Asta to see his potential. So, yes. And also, I'm covering up to the village attack with the ice mages and all that. So yeah, Saussy, Saussy's village. I think that's what it's called. But anyways, let's get into this. What if? So, Asta meets. Oh, this is what if Asta had Sansa's powers. So Asta meets up with Captain Yami and the poison mage and Finral, as Yami's just saying to him, "That's pretty impressive magic you got there, kid. I didn't know you can do something like that." Asta just shrugs it off and says, "Well, I am a pretty determined person, so as basically Finral says, "Man, I mean that's kind of good because we need someone like that." He goes, "Why do you basically destroy everything or cause so much ruckus to take it out of places and such?" Yami just says, "We're just a whole bunch of freaks, basically the misfits of the whole entire magic knights." Asta just smiles. He goes, "Well, color me impressed." And Shami just kind of gives a grin at it. He goes like, "Well, you don't really care, do you?" I was like, "Nah, not really. Heck, you guys can be the freaking bottom of the last. And honestly, I'd rather be with people that can actually have some fun with than be with a whole bunch of people who have a stick somewhere." Shami just kind of laughs at this. Finral just says, wow." And basically, he looks at Finral. He goes like, I mean, he just like trying to think of a pun. Like, he looks like he has a sour face. So, um, okay, I'm not really in the mood to look up. I'm like trying to think of a pun. Give me a minute. Okay, I just came up with one, and it's gonna suck. But you can't blame me. It's like 3:47 in the morning. So, I mean, he looks at, Finral, and he says, "Hey, I didn't know a guy like you can make a depressible face." And Finral goes, "What?" He goes, and Asta just smiles, goes like, "Was that a pun?" He goes, "Yeah, it was." Yami just goes like, "Are you gonna do that all the time?" He was like, "When in the mood." No. When, hold on. He just, Azasa just looks at him, shrugs, and says, "Hey, all the puns, really." As Yami just says, like, "Oh, okay." So, Fenrir opens up the portal, then all of a sudden, Asta hears a voice. And he looks back, because he heard the voice saying, "Asta, wait!" As, it's the mage that he fought. He goes, "Hey, what's your name?" He goes, "Samuel." He goes, "Oh then, Samuel, why you run over?" He goes, "I wanted to thank you for a great match. My father, he was right not to judge someone by the looks or their ranks in the social media, social life." As, he's kind of huffing and puffing. He goes like, "May I ask you a question?" And Asa says, "Yeah, sure." "What? How did you get so strong?" Asa just tells him, basically, "I'm training, working on your body, along with your magic. Figure out what works for you. But let me ask you a question. What did you get into for the Magic Knights?" As he says, "I got into the Crimson Lions. It's the one I wanted to go in anyways. They're basically, for Golion, the leader of them, were very impressed with my respect towards you. So he chose me. He does say I need to stop judging people for it." I goes, "Well, I don't want to keep lying you around here any longer." He goes, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm just gonna crimson a lawn." As he was, the what? He goes, "These are puns." I just smiles and goes, "Those are horrible." He goes, "Yeah, I'm just gonna toot my own trombone here." As in all of a sudden a trombone comes out of nowhere as he just starts blowing as he just walks away. And he goes, "Hey," as Samuel just says, "Oh, you are an interesting person, that is for sure." He goes, "Yeah." Anyways, see it, man, as the trombone disappears. So he goes into the portal. Yeah, when he comes out of it, because me and them already left. He goes, "What took you so long?" I was like, "Oh, I was just talking to the guy that faced Samuel. He wanted to, well, thank me and say he was sorry and all that." So, yeah. Also, I said a couple puns, two puns at least. He goes like, "What were they?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't want to keep you lying here around." As nobody just kind of wants to laugh at that a little bit. And then he says, "Hey, I'm just gonna, I don't want to, I don't know, something about my trombone, but it was like I'm just gonna walk into my own trombone here." Eh, that wasn't really a pun, but doesn't matter. But really, I wanted to say, I'm just gonna, walk on out of here. So, and Finral's just thinking to himself, I am gonna hate those puns of his. So, yeah. So, Asta, goes over and, well, he gets introduced to the Black Bulls, all the Black Bulls, after the incident with Luck and Magna. So he meets Vanessa, and he just sees her, and she goes like, "Okay, why is she wearing no clothes? I mean, I'm not looking. I mean, he just says, I'm not. I'm not. Just look away. Just look away. Focus on, well, Yami at least." And then Yami looks at him, and a few minutes later, he goes like, "What?" He goes like, "Did she always wear no clothes?" And he goes, "Yeah, almost. It's only when she's drunk." As then he looks at Vanessa's face, and he realizes she is drunk. I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to get used to this." But Asta just kind of rolls his eyes. Well, he just kind of keeps his eyes closed. So Yami does his thing. Then it's the well, it is the Gauntlet of Fire, which with Magna, and Magna tests his strength, which Asta just annihilates him in it. And then when it's the final test with magic, Asta just simply does one thing. He just says, "Well, I'm not gonna just chain this along any longer." As then all of a sudden, chains just appear out of nowhere, catching Magna, stopping him, and now his chains are blue with a little bit of black. Well, the chain is black, and it actually has a black handcuff. Well, not handcuff. Um, Cuffing to it, so it's holding the arm. And he goes like, "What the? I can't use my magic." He goes like, "I win, right?" And Yam just looks at him and goes like, yeah, kid, you won." He was like, "Cool." So, he gets his black bull uniform and the same thing. Um, hmm, I do kind of want to give him the traditional headband. So let's just say he wore that. So yeah. And the Noelle is looking down on him, because she's literally above. And she just goes, "That wasn't even impressive at all." So, Magna shows him his room, and he just looks at it. He was like, "I like this place already." So he just sits down, and Magna says, "You aren't getting clean?" He was like, "Nah, too lazy." He goes, "What?" He goes, "I'm a lazy bones. I don't really like to clean. But I'll do it tomorrow. Promise. Scout's honor." He goes, "What?" I mean, Magna was like, "What the heck?" He goes, never mind. Anyways, see you in the morning, Magna. I'm tired. Yeah. As he, starts going to sleep. So that night, he does. Oh yeah, Nero's with him the whole entire time. So, well, that night he basically sees us. I mean, also sees basically Sans and D. He goes, "D, sup?" And basically D just says, "Asta, please get me out of here. At least put me somewhere else. I beg you." His puns are annoying. As Asta just says, "Sorry, I can't. I don't know." He says, "Sorry, but I am not a part of this distressful situation." And he goes, "No!" As Santa just laughs at it. So after that, they just talked, and well, I mean, when Asta wakes up the next morning, and all he knows, he opens the door with his because he has the jacket on, and he sees the pillar. He goes, "Huh? So this place moves around and it's ever changing. Pretty interesting." As Mana goes, "Yo, you're probably wondering why as Anasa says, the place changes around, makes the security more advanced, so that way no one can, when they break into here, they'll be lost." As Mana goes like, Uh, yeah. How did you? Just by a glance. Come on, let's go. So, they go and they go eat breakfast, and then they show him around the place. They even show him the magical beast, as also just makes it float over into the cage. As Maddie goes like, "Wow, that's amazing." He goes like, it's just another part of my magic. Where else? So they show him the rest of it, and then we get to Noelle. Same thing happens like in canon, but Noelle kind of like asks like, "What type of magic is that you use and such?" I never seen anything like that. As Asta just says, it's my magic and it's unique. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't need to tell someone I don't know. And she goes, I am royalty. I was like, hi, royalty. I'm skeleton. And she just says, what? He goes, us the skeleton at your service. And she says, I am Noelle. And, wait, Noelle, hold on. Noelle Silva. And I will be given the respect as a noble. As Asta just rolls his eyes and goes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure thing, princess. As her face goes red when he said that. And he goes, whatever. Anyways, can I show me anywhere else, Manna, or can I go train? As, well, Manna says, no, not really. You can go train. He goes, thanks. See ya. See you around, princess. And she goes, I am not a princess. He goes, well, stop acting like one. And he's just walking away, not even giving her the time of day. So instead of the whole entire, her freaking out and getting rid of the Black Bull's uniform, she goes and follows him. Asa goes in the woods and just start to see what he can do with his newfound magic. He's able to figure out he can do a lot more destruction. He can just summon the sword back into his hand by just calling it. And plus, he even knows that's just two more swords that he needs. The Demon Dweller sword and the Destruction sword. I don't really know. But, anyways. So, yeah. He's able to make even slashes with the sword and make it grow bigger. And he just smiles and goes, alright, that's all that I can do. As he does, like, he doesn't turn around and, like, look at, well, because her face is, like, a little bit away from the tree. Sorry. Excuse me again, but as he goes, like what you see, princess? As Noelle comes out and goes, I am not a princess! As, then she tried to use her magic on him and then it misses. He goes, was that supposed to hit me? As she, starting to freak out a little bit and inside he goes like, it looks like you have trouble to control your magic. And you probably went through a lot, so it's normal. And she goes, huh? He goes, look, I can make fun of you. Honestly, I don't really care. But you're trying hard to work at it, right? And she nods and goes, then that's all that matters. Maybe I can help you with it. As she's going a little bit red, she goes, well, really? How? He goes, well, how can I say this? My magic needs me to focus sometimes on some things. Maybe that's what you need. You need to stop having everything in your head. Let your magic flow through you and be able to not think or feel any negative emotions. Besides, it's just basically just keep it on calm life and don't have any rippling effects. As she goes, what? He goes, yeah. It's not like you're gonna, not drown, but it's not gonna be like it's gonna be a dread-filled moment. I already know that's a word, but I'm not 100% here right now. I am in dream. I want to be in dreamland, sleeping, but I'm not yet. So yeah, because I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and I may make. No, I'm not gonna do that. This is a what if channel. I'll make another channel to then do that, to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links or any other game if I ever want to in time. But first this. But anyways, you know, Asta just starts making puns. Noelle gets pissed off, as then she throws a magic, water at him. As it hits him, he goes, "See?" And he basically wipes away the water off of his face, and she's surprised. She goes, "How?" He goes, "You stopped letting whatever was holding you back. You let go of it for a little bit. That's what you gotta do." As he says, "Care to tell me the story?" And she basically tells him the story of how her mother died, and that everyone blamed her for it. And Asta just says, "Wow, nobles suck." And she goes, "What?" He goes, "Basically, they're blaming you for something that you have no control over, so they suck. You're the good one." And she goes, "Some of the nobles here, that we do have some nobles here." He was like, "Oh, well, all the ones here don't suck." And she goes, "You really just don't care, do you?" He was like, "Nope. I just need to sleep, read, train, study, basically, and just then go through the motions. And I'm also here to make friends." So, I'll help you for training, and I'll show you some stuff from me. Alright? She nods, and so he says, "We'll start training in the afternoon. Come on, let's go." So they leave. Asta just, goes to the library and starts reading. Well, I'll just say they had a library. I probably know they wouldn't have one, but let's say they did and no one went into it, so it's all dusty. As Asta just says, "Alright, time to do a little bit like clean up here." So that's all he did for like the next 3 hours or so. He cleaned up with no break until he was done. So after he was all done, he decided to take a nap. So yeah, and so what happens is next is the Saussy village. Yeah, Saussy's village right now. As Asta and Noelle are just talking, as then, Magna and Yami just come back, but just, well, like in canon. So they have to go do a mission, killing boars and such, and he just says, "Alright, let's do it." So they get prepared and such, and then, uh, Asta just said, Magna shows them his broom, as Asta just says, "There's not going to be enough room for all of us." The same way they have a map. As Magna just says, "Why?" He was like, just need a map." So Magna goes looking for a map, and basically, no. Is asking, "What are you doing?" He just says, "Oh, just something I think I can do." Well, not get there all the way, but we can probably get at least to the location that we need to go to. As then, Manda comes back. He hands him the map, and it's the map, basically where Saussy Village is, and how far it is from the Black Bull's hideout. As basically what happens is, Asta says, "Alright, got it." So he just tells them to hold on to him, as then he basically teleports there. Basically, not teleports. He takes a shortcut, which they're kind of surprised by this. As he goes, "When can you do that?" He goes like, always. Anyways, let's go. Time to go kill some boars. So, and that's what they do. They go and kill them. He has an easier time. He still uses the anti-magic sword, but he also uses the blue magic. So, um, yeah, yeah. So after that whole entire, after them taking them down, they go over to the village and such. As then it's just covered in fog. As Asta says, magic. So he takes out the demon slayer sword and just already starts hacking away at it. Which Mana says, "Wow, I was just about to say something like that." So, they get through it, and, well, they get to there when the old man is still alive, because they're a little bit quicker in this one. So, before the final attack can happen, all of them are just like, no. Like, a, two blasts come out of nowhere. As as Mana and Noelle just sees, like, two Gaster Blasters. And he goes, "Hey, that ain't very nice. What did these fine people do to you?" As the leader of them just says they're weak and they deserve to die. As Asta just sighs and says, just another idiot. And he goes, "What?" And so what happens is, so the fight goes somewhat similar, but Asta is able to like basically take multiple shortcuts around, get into different areas, use a bone, and hit them out of the way. As then he proceeds to, hmm, as he proceeds to then make sure that, and Mana and making sure that no one gets hurt or in his way. So yeah, so after that whole entire like thing happened, he does tell them, was like, "Man, you guys are so annoying with the ice." So he just basically hits the people that are making the ice in the hands. So they can, or in the, yeah, basically in their hands, so they have a harder time doing jutsus. Not jutsus, magic. Somewhat. I'm so starting to fall asleep. But, yeah, I'm starting to, like, lose it, so don't mind me. I mean, so Asta basically, like I said, how he hit them in the hands was with their own ice magic, because he cut it with the sword and such, and they used blue magic to throw right at them. So yeah. And so, what happens is next is that Asta just makes multiple chains come out of nowhere, and it just attaches them, and they can't use their magic. Basically everything just stops. Noelle already did get the Sea Temple's dome, Sea Dragon dome, and such, and they can't even do the magic, kill himself because of Asta's chains. So he says, "We won't tell you nothing." As an Asta pulls out some gaster blasters, some bones, along with a spike, one that has a point to it. He goes like, "You sure about that?" As he just says, "Yes, I'm sure. I'd rather die than be here with weaklings like you." And then Asta just says, "Well, you're not. So, yeah." As then, Asta has the chains come off as he's about to tie them up with rope. As this, then the magic suicide thing happens as Asta gets pissed off. So, after Neru hit him with the stone, Asta does heal the old man of Saussy village and such. He thanks him. They get the stone, and yeah. So he takes another shortcut back, with Noelle and Magna to go back over to the Black Bulls. As basically they reported to Yami about what happened and such, and Yami says, "Well, good job then." And yeah, so Asta basically goes back outside, and he starts thinking to himself, "I need to travel back to Undertale. I need to see what Ultra Sans is doing." So he basically opens up a portal and goes right through. And he arrives in a timeline, a new one, a new timeline from that's different. He goes, "What the?" He sees. He goes all the way to Sans' house, Ultra Sans' house, and he knocks on the door. As basically Ultra Sans, is there. He goes, "Oh, Asta, sup?" He goes, "Hey, Ultra. So, I decided to come here, and I got some interesting things to tell you." He goes, "Alright, come on in." So, he tells him about the demon soul and all that. Well, the devil soul, I mean. And that he's thinking that he can probably do it to other souls. Say, like, the, the soul of bravery. He goes, maybe. We can go by and see about that. So, they chat, they make puns, but Pirates comes in as, he goes, "Sans? Who is this fellow? Who is this boy?" And Asta says, "Asta's skeleton at your service." And, Papyrus goes, "Another skeleton? Wow! I didn't know there was any more of us." He goes, "Yes. And besides, I am just rattling myself just to see you." As he goes, "Oh no, not another one." He goes, "Yes, I'm sorry. I make puns too." He goes, "Well, anyways, me and Sans here are gonna leave." He goes, "What? When did you arrive?" He goes, "Oh, not that long ago. I was just doing a quick, just a quick talk and ask him a question. That was it. So we're gonna go and see if I can do something." So yeah, as he goes, "Well, alright, it's nice to meet you." As he leaves, and as Asta and Sam leave, Asta says, "Cool, brother." He goes, "Thanks." So they leave by taking a shortcut over to Asgore. As Sam explains the situation and such, he goes, as Asgore, "Alright, I'll see." As Asta already knows, he can also do a reset. He can do the reset, basically when he's in Undertale, or any other version. But he can also do the exact same thing that he can do while he's in his world. It's just that it's way more. The reset button is just there for him. So yeah, so he goes over. He sees the soul bravery. He takes it out, and then he starts pouring his soul magic into it. As then what happens is, D and Sans is saying, "Gain more power." He goes, "Yeah, it's not because I'm power hungry. It's just because I want to see if I can be like Ultra. As then, also says, D says, "Alright, let's see." And then, Sam says, I'm interested in too, for science. So, yeah, as an orange glow happens, and all of a sudden, a burst of orange energy basically explodes. As, they basically were pushed back. So what happens is, after the clearing, Asta basically is just there, standing still. And Sans goes, "Hey, kid. Hey, Asta. You alright?" As then he opens up his eyes, and he looks at Sans. He goes, "Yeah, I'm never better." As then he touches his chest as he sees his soul. He sees his own, which is red. Then he sees Sans. Then he sees the anti-magic demon. Then he sees bravery. But the bravery soul is around his soul, which is interesting. As then he says, "I'm gonna do it. Do you mind?" Sans says no. But actually, right before he did it, the reset happened, and then Asta looks over. He's back to where he was, but then he checks his soul again, and it's still his bravery. As then, San runs out and followed where Asta. Well, he basically find Asta as they go over check with Asgore, and the soul's bravery soul is still there. So Asta has a soul of bravery now. And the soul does talk too, so yeah, just another person inside his head. And Asta and San says puns, which the soul of bravery, and D says no. As then Asta says, "Hey San, what did the Rose says to the ketchup?" He goes, "I don't know." "What?" He goes, "I like to relish this moment more." As he just starts laughing at that, and he goes, "Hey." So yeah, so he goes back. I mean, after that, he basically says to Ultra, saying, "I'm gonna, you mind teaching me basically what to do with your powers and such." Since I don't know, as Ultra explains his powers, he can do what he usually did with his training and such. So he makes the jetpack. Then he can even use his fists to do more of a camera effect on it. And his blast, he can use his mouth too now. And his energy is a little bit more different. He says, he's just explaining, and then he takes a little while to try it out, which he finds out he's able to do. So he thanks him and such, and he goes back to the Black Bull's hideout. Goes back to the Black Clover universe, and then he just goes over and sleeps. So the next day is payday. Yeah. As Vanessa says, we're gonna go to the black market and such. As Asta, Noelle, and Vanessa do. So while they're there, Vanessa and Noelle are looking for their items for himself. Asta thinks he's pretty good. Says he even has some money. Wait. It is not that yet. No. Yeah, it is that. It is. Because then, they were chosen to then go to the. Yeah. So, Vanessa just, helping out Noelle trying to find an item. As then Haha guy, appears and try to help them out, but they don't want it. And then they say, Asta, over here. As, he just walks over. As they go like, what is that? He goes, oh, well, it's basically a bracelet. You like? As basically it is just, well, the bracelet is a certain material that is not stretchable, but easy to work with. And what he had on it was, well, they don't know why, but it has like something engraved on it, which he didn't believe until he basically read it. And it's just like another present, so it's like, all right, thanks. So yeah. Wait. Yeah. He got it for free, I mean to say, and it's like another present. Yeah, the bracelet he got basically somewhat for like basically just for free, and it's like another present. So yeah. And so the same thing happens with the old lady, but really it's the Wizard King, as then he just stops the guy as he's trying to get up and such. He goes, ah, people never learn, as he just slams the guy to the ground. And Asta gets the money, gives it back to the old lady, as she says, "Thank you, I gotta repay you somehow." He was like, not at all. Anyways, I'm gonna basically go back to my friends. Uh, so he does. He goes back to Vanessa and Noelle, as people will start cheering for him and such. As then he says, "Let's get out of here." As they say, agree. So that's what they do. They get out, and well, that's where we leave it off, everyone. Sorry about this being somewhat short. I'm just tired, and it's like 4:24 right now. So that means the Ghost Rider What If is coming out now. Alright, I hope you guys have a nice night or day. Alright, bye everyone.